On the 10th of May in 2024, Jason King, High Wycombe, went on a rampage with a crossbow. He stabbed a member of the public in the stomach, and then he shot at a police dog, and he also shot at a police officer with a crossbow. Jason King was then shot by police and has recently been sentenced. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to actually go into the incident itself, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the background of Jason King, what we know, and I also want to talk about the actions of the officers. And at the end of the video, we're going to talk about the sentence which Jason King received, and also probably the reasons as to why he was sentenced to what he was sentenced, rather than what we think he actually should have been sentenced. If you're new here, I'm an ex-police officer. Hit that subscribe button because that shows me that you enjoy this content and it helps the channel. Okay, so what do you actually know about Jason King? Jason King has prior convictions. He was known to the police already. He had convictions for violence, such as possessing a bladed article in public, and he was also known for punching and threatening his neighbour. I'm assuming the neighbour who he had the issue with in the first place, who unfortunately then got stabbed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over the footage of the incident, and I'm just going to critique it bit by bit, just to give you an insider perspective of what my background is and what I thought when I watched this footage. This video was sponsored by my best-selling police memoir, The Job's Fuck Secret Diary of a Police Officer. After 10 years in the police service, I finally left and I decided I need to speak out. This book does a deep dive into police corruption, the real reason why the police force is falling apart, and things you will never hear in the mainstream media. You can check it out in the link in the description of this video. You could also grab some merchandise and support me on Patreon. And now, without further ado, enjoy the video.
That's my car again. My dog's gonna kill you in a minute. Rocco's gonna rip you to shreds.
Straight away there, we've got a male on a Ring doorbell. This is Jason King. It looks like he's got blood around his mouth, so probably been involved in some kind of altercation. But the biggest thing is he's holding a knife. We can see he's holding a knife right there, and he's threatening, I'm going to kill you. My dog's going to rip you to shreds. So straight away, we know that there's been some kind of issues and confrontation. And I believe when the prosecution and the defense were actually talking about this in court was referred to as a bit of a revenge. So he's obviously had clear issues when it comes to this neighbour.
Come on, my.
So Jason King has then stabbed his neighbour. So he's gone to the house with a knife. So he's intending to do harm. He's screaming, he's shouting, and then, of course, he's then stabbed his neighbour. So then the police were called. So then we have to look at what response is proportionate to the threat being posed. Now, of course, in this situation, you want an officer who has a taser. Probably more than one officer too who has a taser. So at that point, we know he's got a knife on him and he's violent. So therefore, we need something which is a distance weapon, such as a taser, and is an incapacitant which can put him down.
Kill, Rocco. Kill.
So there we've got him screaming kill. We've got him a knife in his hand and he's going over the top. So for me, he's intending to do some serious damage there. He's screaming kill. He's saying, come on, let's have it. And he's gone there, like I said, with the knife, with the weapon in his hand. And he's not holding it like that. He's holding it over the top. So yeah, he's, in my mind, his intent there is to do catastrophic damage, if not kill somebody. One, by what he's saying, and two, how he's holding the knife in his actions.
What happened and trying to keep her.
So this is the 999 call taker who took the actual call. And I just want to throw it out there. Call takers and 999 call takers, they are the unsung heroes. They are the ones who I really think we need to give these people more credit. And, you know, they're not just a call taker, not just a call handler. I know people that have worked in the control rooms. It's an incredibly stressful job. You deal with things as they're happening in real time. And 999 calls can provide really critical and vital evidence when it comes to a prosecution later down the line. So I just want to say 999 call takers, absolute unsung heroes in instances like this.
My recollection of the early moments when I arrived on scene was...
So this is PC Curtis Foster. I just want to say, cops go into instance where someone's got a knife, your adrenaline's going, you're thinking, what is going on? Sometimes you get a call that someone's got a knife and people just say that to get you there quicker. Sometimes you'll turn up to an incident and it seems okay, and then someone will produce a knife and you have to fucking think quickly and react really quickly. So officers turning up to incidents like that, there's going to be a million things going through the mind. And I mean, people give the police shit all the time, but you know that if there was someone outside with a knife threatening to hurt somebody, who the first people you're going to ring? You know what I mean? So when people talk shit about the police, and I know the organization's not perfect, but I'm always very critical of the organization, and I fucking really try and big up the officers and highlight the hard work what the officers do. Like people say policing's a hard job. That's an understatement, guys. It's an impossible job and it's a very dangerous job, and they do not get paid nearly enough what they should do for the situations they have to encounter.
The street was empty. It was eerily quiet. No sign of the suspect. We then saw the victim, who showed us a stab wound to his abdomen.
Another thing with incidents like this is that your adrenaline's going, you're trying to figure out obviously what's going on. Like, we don't know what incidents this officer had already been to. We don't know the incidents which the officer had been to the day before, the week before. You know, he could have post-traumatic stress disorder, he could have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, he could have some kind of trauma as a result of this incident. And from what I've been told, when it comes to speaking to police officers and people in the emergency services, welfare is just not there. You know, the police want to turn around and say, yes, well, we do X, Y, and Z for the officers, but in actual reality, it's severely lacking. And PTSD in the police service is quite high when you consider what they have to do, and the support which is supposed to be there isn't always there.
King had a crossbow. When he removed the upstairs window to his property, he literally took the whole window out of its frame. And then he was pointing something out the window, and I could see a red glint. And then I realised it was a crossbow, and that's when he took 2 shots at me out the window.
So, fuck me. So you've turned up, you've then looked up, you're thinking, what's that? Then 2 shots. He's already stabbed somebody. He's then taken the window out of its frame to then get a better shot, and he's then taken 2 shots at the officer. Pure intent to do serious harm there, if not to kill them.
He's out now! Cameron! Cam!
It took a good amount of time before there was any sort of knowledge of a crossbow. And that's when Curtis came around the corner and he called me back and said, he's just come out of the house, he's holding a crossbow.
Fucking hell. The situation's escalated. He's got a fucking crossbow and he's firing at us. He's not just threatening us with it. He's actively firing it at us.
He's out with the bro! I think he shot me. Oh, just run, just run. Just run. Guys, get back in your house. He's got a crossbow. Yes.
Even though the officer's running for his life, he's been shot by a crossbow in the leg. He's still saying to members of the public, get in your house. There's a threat. The guy's got a crossbow. He's trying to fucking kill us. And police officers, on paper, it looks like they get paid quite well. On paper. But in reality, when you just look at what they actually have to deal with and situations like this, what they can counter at any point during their shift, things can just escalate and explode. And then when you consider, okay, take away pension contributions and everything else, the officers probably come out with less than £2,000 a month. Would you do that? By the way, if you do something wrong and someone makes a complaint and it sticks, the organisation probably won't back you. Would you do it? This is what we're expecting officers to do.
Let's get out of here now.
I knew something had impacted me, but my adrenaline was so high that the pain wasn't really there. I kind of first realised I was bleeding quite a lot when I could feel it running down my leg.
Okay.
And then I touched my leg with my above my trousers, and my whole palm of my hand was red where it had gone through my trousers already. So I thought, yeah, I'm losing quite a lot of blood at the moment.
It's funny that he's laughing. It's just a defence mechanism. That it's we laugh at things that are awful. That officer needs an absolute medal for that, because not only was he shot and he's managed to get to a safe distance, he's even saying to people in the public, like, go inside. Okay, so then what happens is the officers have retreated and they've called for backup. They've obviously relayed the situation more. Then the control room then decided it was proportionate to send police dog. Why are you sending the police dog to a guy with a crossbow?
No! Gun! Gun! No! Gun! Gun! Yeah.
Who shoots a fucking dog? Thankfully, the crossbow missed, but so he's taken 2 shots at officers there. He's then taken another shot, which has impacted the officer. He's stabbed somebody, and he's tried to shoot a police dog. Who the fuck shoots a police dog? Why would you shoot a police dog? Like, Yeah, shoot at people, but leave the dog alone. You don't shoot a good boy. You do not hurt the good boy. And you can hear it in the dog handler's voice. Like, he's screaming like, fucking hell, come back. Like, Police Dog Merle, legend.
Tried clearing them out of the way, and Cameron was doing that. In the end, Cameron ended up picking up a child and running to an address with the child to keep them safe.
I'm really proud of the fact that I had the presence of mind to stay focused on my task. I was able to go, there are kids here and they need to be moved.
I can feel myself getting emotional at this. Those cops have been shot at. There's a blow, and they get paid fuck all for what they have to do. They get paid absolute fuck all, and the cops have still gone. There's kids here. We need to protect these kids. We need to look after these kids. Telling people to get inside. Their own safety is secondary. We need to get these kids out of the way because this guy's an absolute lunatic. And wow, fair play, lads. Fair play. Okay, so armed police are coming now. Why is there only one firearms officer? Because no one wants to be a fucking firearms officer. Because as we've seen in the news, you pull that trigger, you then get investigated, and then they treat it like a fucking murderer if someone dies. He's running towards someone with a fucking crossbow. You know, a crossbow that could kill someone if it hits them in the wrong place. Yes, they've got all the body armor, they've got the shields, but, you know, they get shot. It could be lights out. So that firearms officer there has got to weigh everything up. They've got all the training, all the decision making, but they've also got to think, if I get this wrong, if I pull that trigger and I'm not 100% certain, and not even that, I might be 100% certain, but then it might go to a panel of other people that aren't there who might criticize every decision I made, go with him with a fine tooth comb, and they might rule that I've done something wrong. I'm potentially looking at a sentence of murder. So the officers have got that in their minds as well. Will I be backed by the organisation if I pull this trigger? And what are the consequences of me not pulling this trigger?
Stay still! Stay still! Despite all my demands, despite hoping he was going to put the crossbow down, he refused, so his actions led to him being shot. Oh, please stay still! Stay still!
You can hear it in his voice, like he's screaming to the guy, put the crossbow down. Put that crossbow down, stay still. Because in his mind, he's going, I don't want to shoot you because of everything else what we've said, but I'm going to have to shoot you. If you do not follow my commands, what I'm saying right now. And plus he's thinking, I'm on my own. There's no other colleague here with a gun. And the weight of his kit, the adrenaline going through him. And firearms officers don't get paid any more than your regular officers. They don't get any special bonus. They don't get anything. They earn the same amount of money as somebody sat in a back office doing case files. And yet they're such an important part of our police service that if required, lethal force can be deployed. But they don't get any extra money. They don't get any incentive to join the firearms service, when it's actually one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous, unit in policing. And not just necessarily because of the incidents you'll attend, but because if you do pull that trigger, you could potentially be charged with murder if somebody on a panel somewhere says what you did was not justified. And even if a criminal investigation is launched and you are found not guilty, the organisation will then do an internal investigation of misconduct, where the burden of proof moves from beyond all reasonable doubt to the balance of probability. So that officer, with all the information he's got, has had to make that decision to fire that weapon.
Drop it!
Yeah, paramedics now, he's got the crossbow.
So the police have to preserve life and limb. So even though they've shot him, they then have to go, okay, now we need to try and save his life. The shot was not to kill him. It was to neutralize the threat. It was to essentially put him down so that they could then administer first aid, save his life, put clotting agents into the wound and everything else. And ultimately to save other people's lives as well, to prevent other people getting hurt, members of the public, children, the suspect themselves if they'd turned the crossbow on themselves, and also, you know, the officers attending the incident, and of course the police dog. We don't want the police dog getting hurt. I just want to take this opportunity just to say every officer that attended that incident, the fucking police dog, the people behind the scenes who would have been directing where the resources need to go, the people communicating with each other. There was so much happening behind the scenes then which people just do not know about. Fucking thank God you are in the job what you're in. Thank you so much for everything what you do. Thank you so much for the service to the public which you do every single day. The countless interactions which the police and emergency services do every single day, which people just do not hear about. People just do not hear about them. And it's only because this made the national news that people would hear about this. Otherwise, it would have happened and no one would have had a clue. So the absolute heroes of modern society, the everyday heroes, which are just people like me and you who take up a job, put a uniform on, and they go out every day to work not knowing what they're going to face. And they get paid awful for it. They use it as a political football. I could get on my soapbox about it, but ultimately, fucking thank you so much for everything what you guys do. So, Jason King, 55, of School Close, High Wycombe, was sentenced to 9 years imprisonment with a further 3 on licence. And the dog was not injured. I don't know why the dog bit gets me. Now let's just have a look at what he was actually charged with. So I've just got it up here now. So he went guilty at court, meaning he'd have had a third knocked off his sentence. He admitted offences including unlawful wounding, GBH with intent, possession of weapons and affray. Yes, he did that and much, much more. And the reason why he didn't get attempted murder, in my opinion, is because the Crown Prosecution Service work like any other organisation. They have quotas to hit. They have statistics to hit. They have quotas to fill. So what will have happened is they'd have received all the evidence and they'd have gone, we could go for attempt murder, but then we have to prove intent to kill in order to get attempt murder. It's easier if we go for GBH with intent. He intended to do serious harm. I don't think he should have got GBH with intent. I think everybody would agree he should have been charged with 2 lots of attempt murder, as well as the affray, as well as the possession of offensive weapon in a public place. I mean, he could have been charged with attempt murder, but then when it came to court, to avoid the cost of a trial, because everything's to do with money, to avoid the cost of the trial, his counsel could have said to him, look, you're going to jail. It's just you decide what for. We can go for a trial for attempt murder and you maybe, in some strange world, walk free. Not going to happen at all. Or we can do a plea deal and we bring it down to grievous bodily harm with intent. You'll be sentenced to 9 years, do 3 on licence. I'm quite cynical and quite skeptical when it comes to sentencing, because when we look at sentencing as a whole, sentencing has actually gone up through recent years. It has increased, but the actual time served has gone down. So they might say to him, you'll do 9 years in jail, but due to overcrowding and everything else, he's likely to do a lot less than that. But what do you think? Do you think he should have got attempt murder? Do you think it was fine being GBH with intent? Do you think that the police did really well? Have you got any criticism or commendation for the officers that attended? Leave a comment in the description below. And while you're at it, why not check out this video right here?